rushing. How about you? Get your tea.
Still on the ground, on the ground. I'll soon be fluttering if I can find my wings.
Get on in here. It's break time. It's tea time. With your favorite cup. Ooh, it's hot.
But I hear a gentle voice inside me say that slow and steady steps will be my pace. Slow and steady steps will win this race. It will take some time, but the victory will be mine. Slow and steady, I'm gonna learn to fly. I'm starting to believe I only race with me, only me.
This is our tea.
Give to someone
We made this tea.
this journey for myself. It's for myself. Since my best is all I have, it is enough. I can see a ray of hope. I've got to trust that slow and steady steps will be my pace. Slow and steady steps will win this race. It will take some time, but the victory will be mine. Slow and steady, I'm gonna learn to fly, and I will soar. I will reach the sky, a little at a time. I'm reaching, I keep believing
Thumbs up.
that slow and steady steps will be my pace. Slow and steady steps will win this race. It will take some time, but the victory will be mine. Slow and steady, I'm gonna learn to fly. Slow and steady, I'm gonna learn to
She has a beautiful voice. I believe that's Megan, and she's just absolutely amazing. Anyway, it's tea time, y'all. It's time to quiet ourselves down. My favorite tea, I've been throwing out all the tea that I don't like. I've been throwing it out because this is all I need. This is all I need is this tea. And I am cleaning out cabinets, my tea cabinet, like you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe it. Because I always thought you had to have all kinds of different teas. And I am slowly getting rid of it because this is the only... I put some other tea in my mouth not long ago and it tasted like twigs. And it was awful. And I just had to spew it out. You know, the Bible teaches us if They're talking about lukewarm. Well, you can't be lukewarm, because lukewarm, you just spew it out. It's just nasty. Hot tea. Anyway, so what have y'all been doing today? Let me see some comments. There goes the garage door. Robert's forgotten there's no mail today. He has forgotten. He's going down to get the mail right now, and it's not there, because there is no mail running today, because today is Veterans Day. My father was a veteran. Yeah, he fought in the Korean War. He was in the Air Force. And my grandfather, Frank, he was in World War II. And I don't know why this is weird, telling me my AirPods are going to die on me. And I didn't know I had them on this phone. But my grandfather fought in World War II. He was in the Navy. Justin's grandfather, Ellie, was in the Navy in World War II. And it was hard on the women that were left home. My grandfather, step-grandfather, his name was Frank too. He fought in World War One. I have his discharge papers. World War One. So, and he was just a little old plowboy from West Tennessee, and had never been out of the country, never been out of town hardly. So this country has been founded on people who fought to keep us free, and we need to remember that. We need to remember their sacrifice. I remember my grandfather, Frank. You didn't startle him. He did not do well being startled. But the safest I ever was sitting in his lap on the carport and hearing the rain fall, and him describing to me that the rain, how wonderful it was, and that the thunder might scare us, but it wasn't the thunder that could hurt us. It was the lightning that preceded the thunder. So that was my first experience with weather, was sitting in his lap, not being scared of a storm, because he explained it to me. And he taught me to fish. He was the first person to take me fishing. But I remember him sleeping in the bed, and he would sleep like this, on his elbow, reclined on his elbow, ready to jump up at a moment's notice. That's how he would sleep. And he was on a ship, so I don't know. I don't understand it, but they had it rough. Granddaddy L.E., he had it rough on a ship too. He was a lookout for mines. I don't know much about my daddy's service in the Korean War, but when I found his grave in Beaumont, Texas, he is in the Woodlands of the World Cemetery, I think, and I think it's Woodlands. But if you look up where Hoss Cartwright is buried, that my daddy's in the same cemetery as him, not on the same side of the cemetery, but in a new spot at the back. And he was stationed in Texas, and then I don't know much about his service, because he never would talk about it. But if you can get a veteran to talk to you, and when I was in high school, people were going off to Vietnam. That's been a long time ago. I graduated in 1974. And we knew people. I mean, last night I was looking in the news. Robert was reading the weekly news, or bi-weekly newspaper. And there was a veteran's picture. Young man, Marine, on in the obituary section, and his sister lives here. So it's just sad. I don't know what happened to him. They usually don't say. But it's, last Christmas, I wasn't at home for Christmas. I was with Ben. And I would drive to the hospital by way of the East Tennessee Veterans Cemetery. And all those white crosses in the Veterans Cemetery, and they all had little wreaths at the base of the cross. And it was more early morning because I didn't want Ben to be alone on Christmas. And it was early morning, and there was a fog over the cemetery, and it was up this little hill. And I got one of the most amazing pictures of that cemetery with all those little wreaths with red bows on them. And at the top of the circle of the cemetery, there was a monument to all the people who fought in the Korean War. And I'm thinking, that was my daddy that fought in the Korean War. And so I got to the hospital, and there was a chaplain on duty who came by. This was before COVID hit. And this chaplain was Korean. And she was now living in Knoxville. And I asked her, I told her I had read stories about, I had read 3 books about North Korea and how hard it was. I mean, horrid. And I said, my daddy fought in Korea. And she said, please thank him for me because he saved us. And I had never had anybody say that to me before. And I told her about going past the cemetery and seeing the Korean monument to the veterans that had served in Korea. And I thought, wow, he gave birth to me, and he helped save people. And I just heard a story on the radio about a young man who's 19 I think he was in Alabama, and he was at this shop, and this man came in who was a Korean veteran, and he thanked him for his service. A little young kid, 19 years old. And before it was all said and done, they were praying together, and the man said, I did it for you. I fought for you. And there's so many that didn't get to come home. So remember today. Today is important. Today is important. It's November the 11th. It's a powerful day. And thank the people in your family who served. Thank them. And the people who I've spoken at military posts all over the country. I've been to Fort Campbell 6 times, and Fort Bragg, and Fort Benning, and Fort Hood, and Fort Stewart. I can just name them all. But it's hard on the people who stay home. I know it's hard on the ones that go, but the family that stays home, when someone serves in the military, the whole family serves. I remember Justin's granny Elizabeth, telling me that when Ellie was missing at one point, and she couldn't hear from him, and it was awful. It was awful on her that she couldn't get a hold of him. Now we have the internet, and we have the ability to see another's face. All they had was letters. So if you've got your loved one's letters in a cedar chest somewhere, get them out and read them. Thank them. Even if they're in heaven, thank them for their service. Whew. So they stood up for our country. They stood up for that flag. It might not have had that many stars on it at the time, but they stood up for that flag. They stood there to keep us safe. Keep us safe. Well, y'all, I love you. Somebody's told me yesterday that my 15-minute tea times were too long. I don't care what they think. I think they're pretty good for 15 minutes and not have a script in front of me. It would be awful if I had a script in front of me. But I'm here to tell you, we have to keep our home fires burning. We have to keep our homes safe. And right now, we're being devoured by an enemy. By an enemy from the inside out. We are locked down. We're scared to go out. We're being denied our rights and freedoms because of COVID. And I'm ready for COVID to be gone, y'all. I've called off Thanksgiving at my house with guests. It's just going to be me and Robert. But I'm still planning it like it was Thanksgiving. And I've got bento boxes ready to go to my neighbors. Yeah. I'm tired of it. I'll do anything to keep this country safe. But it needs to be for the right reasons. I love you all. Hey, everybody, I know you're going to get all crazy on me, but I joined Parler, PARLER.com, because I need to diversify. Because my rights as a spokesperson for FlyLady are being violated by Facebook every day. Yeah, by Facebook. And YouTube silenced me for several days before the election. Silenced me. Yep. Silenced me. And now it's working just fine. So I don't trust anybody. I don't trust a single person in the media. Don't trust them at all. So I'm going to diversify as much as possible to stay in touch with y'all. So I'm on Parler, PARLER.com. They've had some issues because so many people have joined recently. But I'm at FlyLady. Just check me out there. And if you're going to complain about it on YouTube or on Facebook, don't. Don't, because I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you and you'll never be able to see me again, which is fine because I'm going to protect what I've spent 20 years of my life building. 20 years of my life building for all of you. And I do my YouTube videos to keep me perpetual. I'll always be here. Even when I'm dead and gone, I'll be here. I'm trying to figure out Parler too. I posted a video last night and I don't really know how it works. If I can figure it out, I'll do a video on how it works. How about that? But I think you say something and people give you thumbs up and stuff, which is okay. That's what you do on YouTube. But I will look for you and come on over. We just have to stay vigilant, because people like me and Leanne, we don't agree politically on things, but we agree on taking care of ourselves and taking our supplements, and people like us have been silenced. Dr. Mercola, silenced. Yeah, silenced, because we don't conform to the mainstream medical practices. Yeah, we don't do it. So I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. I believe in filling your body with good food for you. I believe in taking care of yourself. I believe in fasting, which is the cheapest way in the world to take care of your body. Fasting. So I don't think you can give me a thumbs up on Facebook, but you can give me a heart. And on YouTube, you can give me a thumbs up. But I'm doing 2 shows at once right now, just to diversify there. And then my YouTube videos go over to BitChute. So I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. You just got to look for me. We've got people who are watching just my YouTube channel instead of TV. I got that testimonial this morning. Parler is an app, but you can also do it on your computer. It's also on your computer. Well, I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. It's question and answer day. Get your questions in. Send them to FlyLady at FlyLady.net or post them on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, either one. We'll cull them out and make us 5 or 6 sheets of questions, and we will get them done. Yeah, we love intermittent fasting, but you know, the mainstream media thinks it's stupid. And they block us for talking about it. Yeah, they shut us down for talking about it. They don't let us get the word out because we believe in intermittent fasting. And that's the easiest way to get control of your blood sugar. Did you know that? You can do it. But they want you to take medication. They want you to fund big pharma. And if you can eliminate something, I'm the queen of decluttering, y'all. If you can eliminate something, I thought this morning as I was talking to Dina and she was at the hospital for her follow-up visit from surgery from last week, I thought, well, if you've got to declutter a breast to get cancer out of your life, go for it. If that's all it takes is to get rid of the cancer, is a simple mastectomy. Not that any mastectomy is simple, but you know, if your hand offends you, cut it off. That's what the Bible says. So if your breast offends you and it's giving you cancer that could metastasize and kill you, when you can declutter something, declutter it. Declutter salt, declutter sugars, declutter foods that aren't good for you. Yeah, it's not fun. Simple little things like fasting. I've read dozens of books on fasting and they have changed my life. Okay, folks. Y'all be good, kind, and sweet. Say prayers for Ben. He's sleeping lots. I talked to Aunt Margie today. Say prayers for her. She's got to have cataract surgery. I love you all. I will see you later.